we're not going to lose our souls, you know, we're not going to lose our souls. And it's a responsibility, sometimes a scary responsibility, or it can feel that way, you know, to the flip side of having decision-making power in our lives, especially if you live in suboptimal circumstances like most of us do. That the kind of price to pay, so to speak, for that, it can be, having to take more risks in life. And when you take more risks, you gotta have that firm foundation of caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, caring, like being selfish for once, for caring about how you feel, and that your little interests matter, and that little things about your personality and your likes, they do matter, and they're not just like vain or surface level or inconsequential. It is, a lot of us, we deny our personhood by trying to survive life. Hey, so I am all nice and cozy today. It is my birthday, 32nd birthday. And when I was younger, I thought that I wouldn't make it this long. So, you know, um, it's funny when you are trying to learn as you go to provide structure for your life, when you never really thought about that when you were younger, or had people around you to suggest you thinking about your future. And, I'm in a position that many other people are in and have been and have successfully come out of. So I'm taking notes from all the people that I've watched. I've had insights into through the internet, mostly, a little bit through in person, but in person, I find, at least in my own life so far, there haven't been that kind of like real vulnerable insights into people's lives. There's been much more guards up, there's been difficulty getting into close dynamics like that with people, and I haven't been able to share myself like that with people during my lifetime, and in person for the most part also. Besides like this past 6 months or so, it's a very new thing for me in some ways. So I understand it, but I just wanted to kind of talk about some of my intentions for my 32nd year, some of my intentions, and how I am trying to wrap my brain around things. I've definitely, the past few years, I've definitely, um, as I have been on my journey as a recovered person, as a resilient person, as I have overcome panic disorder and like abusive parenting to myself, basically, and, you know, financial, like just complete poverty and physical illness and all this kind of stuff, that we go through in life. I have consumed a lot of personal development stuff that caused me to kind of think, oh, I got to be really strategic. I got to have a plan. I got to have every part of the path figured out and mapped, and, you know, keep on being super hyper analytical with every new step I take through life to determine if I'm still on track on my path. And, this kind of iron grip has been for me really exhausting, not rewarding, really discouraging. And, this is just another part of the process, me trying to learn how to find that way that is authentic for me. Um, and, because I really believe in this idea of us all getting through those hard barriers and shells that we can have Um, and having practices and commitments and loving relationships and um, creative projects in our lives that can continually put us more in touch with that, that sense of our soul, that sense that our process, as raw and authentic and genuine as it is, however it looks, that it is real and it's a part of the path to success. Like whatever your path is, it can very much be a part of your path to success also. Like things that you see in your life, that doesn't determine whether you're going to be happy or not, whether you have the potential to be healthy or not, whether you have the potential to um, reconnect with your soul in a way that you've forgotten to or not. I'm really passionate about that feeling because a part of resilience to me is acknowledging that we have to enjoy being alive, enjoy the process to have that intrinsic motivation so that we can be consistent and we can, not um, overextend. And in our overextension that is inauthentic for our unique strengths and limitations, we start relying on addictions that have more cons and pros, and it can just lead to a lot of um, negative things in our lives and in other people's lives too. And I think on a societal level, it's important to remember that these systematic problems are not, of just poverty and resources not being distributed well, and the systems we have established for people to obtain resources and the narratives that are in our cultures that we tell about how to, how to collaborate with people, how to relate to people, how to see ourselves, how to navigate disagreements, how to navigate hurt feelings and stress, and how to provoke change, whether we provoke change through fear and pain and shame, or if we motivate change through love and connection and authentic, the authentic feeling and desire. And there's a lot of moving pieces that, of course, I don't understand how it all fits together exactly at this point, but I'm on a mission in my life to understand more about this because I feel like it's what my whole life has been focused on, or like the through line through all the weird things I've experienced in my life. I have been homeless, and my form of homelessness was doing work exchange, like brief work exchanges on farms and hitchhiking and like living in the crawl spaces of houses for sale for months while I worked a full-time job, and just like, trying to camp in the woods with a friend for an extended period and being very transient. Like that was my form of homelessness. And a lot of it was implicated, or it was caused by substances affecting my focus. That was my anchor point. The substances, mostly weed, was kind of what I based my entire sense of security and my priority on. But, you know, um, I I didn't think about my health. I didn't think, that it mattered. I didn't think about having a positive, safe, meaningful connection to people because I didn't think that that was an option for me. All these, it boils down to trauma always, and it's really beautiful to me the stories that I've seen or heard of people through the internet who have different perspectives. And for me, the internet has been more therapeutical than any therapist I've seen in person. I think therapists that I've seen in person have been important to give me insights into how the world works. And um but it can be really confusing, especially when you're weighing in like panic disorder and all these fear-based narratives that um can come into our minds, especially if but I had to learn mindfulness also as a part of me. um this process of feeling safe and like life is worth living, learning mindfulness to know that my thoughts are not me. I'm separate from my thoughts, and I can choose which thoughts I want to invest in, based on the outcome that will give me, like, CBT, that our thoughts change our emotions, which change our behavior. So it was really powerful for me to start realizing that I didn't have to carry narratives of shame and self-hatred and wanting myself to suffer in order to try to prove loyalty to other people, or in order to try to feel like I was a good person. I somehow, I guess, picked up this idea that um, I could only be a good person if I suffered, and I think I had a really unrealistic set of expectations for myself, and lack of perspective with everything that I went through as a kid growing up and how that affected me. Um and I really took on this sense of blame. And when you have relatives or even professionals, people who are supposed to be in this caring, trusted role, who demonize you and who want you to villainize yourself, like, that is a hard thing, and it definitely had a really negative effect on me. So I just want to stand strong with other people also who have come through this process, or maybe still in the middle of the process of being like, we're not going to lose our souls, we're not going to lose our souls. And it's a responsibility, sometimes a scary responsibility, or it can feel that way, to the flip side of having um, decision making power in our lives, especially if you live in suboptimal circumstances, like most of us do. That the kind of price to pay, so to speak, for that, it can be having to take more risks in life. And when you take more risks, you gotta have that firm foundation of caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, caring, like being selfish for once, for caring about how you feel, and that your little interests matter, and that little things about your personality and your likes, they do matter, and they're not just like vain or surface level or inconsequential. It is, a lot of us, we deny our personhood by trying to survive life. And I think back as I was running some notes on kind of my birthday intentions. I think back to when I was younger, like in my teens, in my late teens and my early 20s. Like, I the only way that I survived was I based my love and my focus on this sense of magic that I got from music, from fashion, from art, um, and from other people's stories. And I didn't feel comfortable then to share my story directly through words. Um, but as time has passed, that is what feels comfortable and right and interesting and valuable to me, to share my story through words and to continue to learn how to do it more. And um, yeah, so I just think back to the magic that I felt when I was younger through art, basically art, self expression, colors, textures, sounds, imagination, and it takes a lot of energy in some ways to organize organize yourself. And for me, it's really hard for me to have some kind of clear cut um I'm very much still in this stage of sometimes over considering options. This fear of making the wrong decision definitely affects me. So I tend to be like, well, what I don't want to commit too much to this, because then what if this ends up being the thing? And so this is a part of my process now, learning what is that like to trust my own feelings and to even be able to feel my feelings. Like what kind of circumstances do I need to be in? What kind of thoughts? Where's that sweet spot where I do feel safe to continually feel my feelings more and to respond authentically to my feelings, you know? And I always kind of think about what's the difference between taking a risk towards a feeling I have, and then maybe later I'll be like, oh, that wasn't the actual feeling, that there was more information. But then if you involve other people in that, it can confuse other people. So there are all these complex things to think about that I know a lot are trauma based, including the trauma of seeing other people harmed, like through the internet. That does also affect our narratives, I believe. And when you don't have a secure kind of home base, like a wide social group home base community that you're part of, like I definitely don't have that yet at this point. um that makes it feel even more risky to try things and make mistakes. I think it's beautiful also um to try things that feel right in the moment and make mistakes, because that strengthens our ability to, like, no matter what, whenever we do something we automatically feel afraid or like angry with ourselves or feel like we could have messed everything up, to realize where that is coming from. A sense of just immediate knee-jerk judging. I do that for myself, judging myself and feeling like hyper analytical, hyper critical, because I'm so used to walking on eggshells in environments. And, I never really have taken the chance to not walk on eggshells very much. Um, I have more in this past year, but it's still slow, slow going process, because we also want to be considerate. And I'm very much one of those people, probably like yourself, where we love peace. Like, we truly want peace. We truly prioritize peace. We truly want everyone to be as a big, happy, human, extended family together. And um yeah, so not to get too much off track, some of my intentions, I want to express myself more, not in this kind of strategic way of trying to have the world see me in a way that I think I need to be seen in order to succeed. Like this past summer, I went to thrift stores and I got a bunch of clothes, like office kind of clothes, that like blazers and I mean just neutral pants, like more like dress pants. But I got a bunch of clothes like that, and I realized I like them, but I don't really feel comfortable in them for me. And there might be something to be said about being like, well, is that a matter of um just needing to grow into feeling comfortable with it, or is it, if there are things that I feel comfortable with now and I really love, why not just enjoy that? I think there's a bit of that in there. Um, but yeah, I just want to focus much more on self-expression and the softness of being like, things don't have to be super strategic and thought out and analyzed to death in order to share it, in order to share it with other people, but also in order to just put my energy into it for my own self. Just like, oh, touch my mic. It's totally, yeah, I'm just really affirming that for myself, that it is so beautiful to put my energy into enjoying things for the sake of it, you know? I want to focus much more on pleasure, just like feeling like I'm being bathed in beautiful sensory information, you know, scents, textures, tastes, just all the luxuriousness of it all. Um, and you really cozy, you know, really cozy, really safe. So that's another part of it. I want to be enjoying my day-to-day life more, and noticing when, as I'm taking these experiments as a solopreneur, you know, a new solopreneur and a new business owner. You know, my solopreneur stuff is both online and in person. In person, I have a dog hiking business that I plan to expand into dog behaviorism, um, alongside with the exercise and all that. And then I also want to, you know, online, I'd like to offer resilience coaching to people. I'm still learning more about that, what that looks like, and what is the right form to take for me, how, you know, um, and I would really love to collaborate with other people also. And I want to really validate to myself, like, as I go down this path, I don't need to, like, I'm very much used to adapting myself and using CBT and reframing in the wrong way to try to mold myself too much, or try to have myself hang on for dear life when I feel stressed interacting with people. And I think when it comes to interacting with people, if I can continue to remember to like let my guard down and accept what I love and what feels safe and nurturing for me, then I will remember what that feels like to connect with people over this really exciting, beautiful, safe thing. So then I won't be pressuring myself so hard to force myself to connect to people where it maybe takes just too much energy for the stage that I'm at, like with my own limitations right now, you know, it just takes too much energy to continually interact with people, or especially when I start to notice that temptation for me to demonize other people or to see them in a uh just kind of villainized light, you know, for me, that is a sign always that, oh, okay, this isn't right. Like, I need to step back. Like, this person is fine doing their own thing. This person is beautiful and perfect for what they're doing and what somebody else needs. You know, somebody else needs this person. And if I am, it's kind of a disrespect to their energy and to my energy if I'm trying to force things and it's just not compatible. And you know, some of that is my sense, I guess, this sense of moral failure, I guess, I was raised with, to feel like never give up on people, or never think anything bad of people, or never, you know, always be available for people until they physically push you out, kind of thing. Things along that line, which I need to explore more. But yeah, I very much want to focus on, you know, feeling that sense of magic and just simplicity. Like, I need simplicity. I need a reminder to be simple. I'm like, what can I do that are like simple things that I can just enjoy, and it can be silly and fun and not be a big deal, and but also feel interesting to me. So that's why I just remember when I was younger with music and fashion, and I've stopped being able to enjoy art the past few years, really. I've been more so like listening to people talk a lot on the internet, listening to people talk a lot to try to sort the trauma, to try to hear new narratives, to try to learn about like how other people see their lives, how other people survive in this crazy world, because I'm like, I'm not the only one who's traumatized. Like, things have happened to everybody, but what are these mindsets that allow other people to feel safe and secure and to connect with other people safely and to have that, that underlying resilience all the time, this sense that yeah, things are rough, but it's also beautiful and it is worth it, and we can continually be consistent in um, our authentic path and our interdependent path where we earn money and are exchanging value for value. Maybe not earning money for some people, but we're exchanging value in return for the value that we need in our lives in a really authentic, mutually meaningful way. This is what I want so bad. And I have it in many ways now, and I want to continually deepen that. And for me, that path means money, learning how to earn money. And, that's something I've never been good at, earning money. I mean, I have earned money working for Amazon for over 2 years, delivering packages, but that is exhausting, not good for your hormones, not good for your um, stress levels, not good for your physical health. I get chronic neck pain and headaches when I was in that job, and worse period pains, and it's really boring. Also, it just feels like, yay, I'm earning money, but my mind is just like continually bored and stressed the whole day. So it's not good for mental health, anyways, for me. But here I am waiting for Amazon to contact me again because I need money, So I'm like, I need to care for myself more for how I can have a long-term career plan. I'm grateful that hopefully Amazon will call me back and I can earn money. For now, to help facilitate my peace, because I also have a lot of stress knowing, that I don't have money coming in. And so it's just give and take, this strange balance as we are navigating these early parts of our solopreneur journeys, or just, you could say, authentic life path journeys, because you don't even need to be a solopreneur or whatever, or own a business in order to earn money, or to have the right balance in your life where your strengths and your limitations match really well the lifestyle that you're in. So, anyway, yeah, I want to enjoy life day to day more. And I know some of this is, experimentation for me, how to feel safe and secure with people and how to navigate that. I also want to work for Amazon for opportunities, these opportunities to be able to be like, where are these instances where my mind automatically goes on this track of judging myself harshly, and so that causes me to see other people in a harsh light, or that they are judging me, or to be afraid of them. um, and and then how that affects my behavior, and maybe sometimes that protective behavior of shutting myself down and being disconnected, um, and just like, you know being a gray rock, maybe that isn't always necessary. I want to explore more where this isn't necessary, and yeah. So let's see. I want to have another birthday intention is I want to have a group of friends that I can feel real with, I can be real with, that I can feel like I'm not pushing so hard to try to perform or try to force myself to be or to seem a way, like with things I learned about from in the manifesting kind of world or personal development, or even like law of assumption kind of stuff. It very much is so hyper focused on appearing a way, and um or it can be. It doesn't have to be, but that was my insight or experience of it, this sense of pushing myself so hard and like panic, like if I don't force myself to change, like everything's gonna go to shit, like this catastrophic kind of thinking. So, I want to learn how to be in a group of friends I can be real with in many different facets, not just that strategic, you know, um, more like challenging kind of personal development side of actively trying to change and apply like very specific behavior modification kind of stuff, but also that side that is like, yeah, I am not perfect, but I love myself and I can still love other people and let other people love me and not feel like I have to perform so much. And this feeling of safety and understanding each other and having real insights from each other's lives in a way that I've never experienced before. I'm so grateful for my partner, but we don't share a lot of the same life experiences, and I definitely have this strong feeling of wanting to connect with people who are and I don't even know exactly what that is, but I think it has to do with, the more, everybody's experienced trauma, but the types of trauma that I've been in, to not feel alone in that and those kind of things. Yeah, so I also want to collaborate with people on creative projects. That is another birthday intention for this year. Collaborating with people is something that I've been thinking about for years and have tried a little bit in various contexts, sometimes when doing work exchanges on farms. Um, and, we can always use words and logic to identify ways in which we've always been collaborating our whole lives. But I'm meaning more specifically for creative projects that are business related, like mutual business peoples. We're doing stuff for our businesses that are feeds into our businesses somehow. um yeah, I want to experience that. I am a little bit right now, like with my dog trainer, but I want more of that. It sounds really cool and inspirational, and like if I can find that sweet spot, that way to experience it, I just um feel like it will be so this sense of strengthening and like, yes, like I can put forth effort, but not so much effort. Sometimes I feel like I have in my mind this idea, like, in order to know that I'm putting in the amount of effort that will let me succeed, I have to be in pain and suffering and exhausted and afraid. That is a narrative that is definitely in my head. And I want to be like, yes, like I've seen all these beautiful examples of people out here who are doing things that are, for the most part, comfortable for them. Like, we can never have anything 100% comfortable for us, but it's for the most part comfortable and enjoyable and suits their personality, and they're able to earn a living from it and have meaningful interactions with people through it. I'm like, I want that. So, yeah, and another birthday intention, I want to feel financially stable and secure. And especially for my future, I want to feel like I am on a track that is continually building up my businesses so that I have this sense of long term financial stability businesses that will move and be flexible with me um, as I go through different changes during my entire lifetime. You know, businesses that can be flexible to move with my humanity, and that allow me to live my passion and work with my strengths and limitations, and allow me to be there for people, for the people who need me, and to be able to collaborate with people who, like, so much meaning and beauty can come out of interacting with other people, collaborators. And anyway, so yeah, I very much want to experience that financial stability, and that since I'm not just financially stable for the moment, like my bills paid, but that I'm financially stable for my continued path going into the future. I do have this dream of buying a huge plot of land with multiple friends someday, and then us being able to make it a land trust so that it's protected forever, as as long as we can make it be protected, and we can do amazing permaculture things on it, to change the land and know that it'll actually be saved, and it's not going to just be chopped down again or something. And being able to have different areas of the land, like everybody has their own home and privacy, and we also have group areas. And I just really have that dream and want it so bad. And that is very much a part of that idea of financial stability, is feeling like I am on a path that will give me the opportunities and the right tone, learning how to find my soul tone, so to speak, so that I can feel safe, to connect with people authentically, and so that I can, be consistent in all the activities necessary in order to, sustain my businesses, sustain these long-term relationships. A lot of relationships, what can make or break it sometimes is the amount of sustained stress in your overall life. Like sometimes, like literally, like horrible stress in our lives, it doesn't bring the best out of anybody. So yeah, lessening stress is a part of that. And um just having this beautiful quality of day-to-day life, and remembering gratitude through it all also. So anyway, yeah. And of course, I want to feel connected to my soul and to that sense of magic in the world again. And I want to open myself to feel more and learn, like, how do I need to change things in different areas of my life? How do I need to change my own mental models of who I am and what my plan needs to be, and like what I need to even focus on. What is the right, maybe I'm thinking I need to focus on like having a perfect schedule and keeping the house clean and being really strict, but it's like I actually just need to focus on being authentic, and or maybe it's a mix of all of them. And just what that authenticity looks like for me, and how to integrate the past into the future. All these moving pieces. It's complex being a human being, but we got this. We got this. You got this. I got this. And yeah, I just want to keep on being in this process of feeling safe enough to feel. And a big part of that is with reparenting ourselves. When we open ourselves up to feel magic, we're also going to feel, the things that aren't magic, the things that let us feel magic more strongly in comparison to what isn't magic, kind of. Um, you're going to feel not magic too. So I think it's kind of this balance of learning, like, okay, if I can gain these skills to nurture myself, to always support myself, to not add more stress to myself by condemning myself or putting unrealistic narratives, pressures on myself, Um, if I can really accept me, then that will allow me to have less stress going on in my life. Well, I had a totally different thing I was thinking of, but then I lost the plot partway through seeing that, and I was thinking how I wish I could scroll up and see what I was writing so I could continue because it was a really good thought. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but basically, I want to help myself, just be patient for the process, and to know that even if I can't think of everything strategically or persuade other people, I can still feel secure, and I can, you know, come back to feeling safe in my own body, in my own choices, in my own community. And, you know, life is a lot, but we got to have something beautiful and interesting to experience, or the whole process is just going to be so much more painful than it needs to be. I really think that, in addition to this year for me being about, so I'm turning 32. So since I use Chaldean numerology a little bit, that to me is um, creating with the partner aspect for the purpose of play or experimentation. So for me, that means I'm going to be, how I read that for my life is that I'm going to be creating things business related, or just, creating creative projects, experiments, and doing so by partnering with myself first so that I can authentically partner with other people. So, that's kind of a dual partnership, partnering with myself and also partnering with other people. So basically creating experiences and creative experiments with other people for the purpose of just playing and experimenting, but enjoying life and being like that experiment to be like, oh, what is authentic to me? Oh, what does feel good? What does feel magical? So that to me is kind of what this whole year is about. This year of my life. And last year when I turned 31, that process was about creating with myself. Just the whole year was about how do I feel that, how do I get to that sense of accepting my own self, and to that very base foundational level of accepting myself as a human being and appreciating all my efforts and seeing my life in a realistic perspective. Um, and just having a understanding of the patterns of being like, okay, I need to be more empathetic, or just fucking pragmatic, not even empathetic, but just pragmatic about my needs, because the past year I've stopped and started so many jobs. I have, I'm not moving around like I did when I was younger. Thank God. That's only because of my partner that I'm able to be stable in one housed place. And I'm so grateful for the growth that we have together, and the like literal precious opportunities that we give each other to enjoy being alive, and to have that sense of safety and security with another person, and knowing even when we disagree, that we can navigate these things with grace and compassion for ourselves and each other in a safe way. That's been so precious to me. So yeah, this past year to me has been about creating my life experiences and creative projects just with myself for the purpose of stability. You know, 31 boiled down to a 4, that's what that means to me. Creating with myself for the purpose of stability, just learning how to accept myself and to stop being so critical and hard on myself, and using punishment and fear to try to modify my behaviors, or to try to comprehend why my behaviors are as they are, not villainizing myself. That's really been the theme of the past year for me. Um, and yeah, and in learning more of my needs and learning that I can safely communicate my needs to people who care about me, um, I've been able to not have panic disorder anymore. Some of that is also through all the amazing things I've learned about, like through the Anxiety Guy YouTube channel. His meditations, like that kind of perspective, helps me so much. It has helped me so much for the past 2 or 3 years when it comes to anxiety and panic disorder and health anxiety, just being over, um, focus on internal bodily sensations and immediately thinking that it means something bad is going to happen, that kind of thing. So, yeah, this past year has been about me just being stable to prep that way so that now I can um, partner, like be a really good partner to myself and learn more about what that looks like in action. And so that I can partner with other people in a more meaningful and consistent way, more joyful, fun, just awesome way. So that is, you know, for the purpose of play and just like experimenting, like, oh, we're just seeing about this life thing. Let's try to enjoy it. And, you know, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And yeah, I'm really grateful. And that sense of gratitude and that sense of having compassion for myself, like just letting myself enjoy being a human being, letting myself um, do the things that sound interesting to me and not being so critical of myself. Like, I think really great things are going to come out of it. I'm excited to see where I'm at next year, 1 year from now. And yeah, excited to continue being able to reflect on my journey and hopefully connect meaningfully with people, but through sharing my thoughts and little glimpses into my life through YouTube. So yeah, um, thanks for listening, and that is my birthday intentions for this year. And take care. I'm looking around for my clicker. Take care.